Hello again, everybody. Happy Friday afternoon. We are going to talk about the possible snowstorm tomorrow with Dr. Tom Novak. And Tom, it seems like this has been kind of back and forth a little bit. There's also been talk that maybe there was going to be a second episode of snow on Sunday, and it's also confusing because warnings and advisories, I guess, have been issued for southern Minnesota, but yet they're still talking about possibility of moderate snowfall in Minneapolis. Help us sort through this confusion, will you?
Lots of confusion, and a lot of it has to do with model guidance, Bill. The models have been contrasting and not agreeing with each other. The European model wanted to shift things a little bit further south. The American models wanted to push things north well into the Twin Cities. Usually there's a happy medium, and I think that's what we're going to go with. And when it comes to the two pieces of energy, that still may be the case, but it really appears that these two pieces are going to be one right after the other. So in other words, once it starts snowing tomorrow afternoon and evening, it's probably going to snow through the night, tomorrow night, and well into Sunday. So this could be a 12 to 24-hour duration snow. It's going to be a light, fluffy snow, so a beautiful snow, one that's easy to shovel, one that if you're a skier, perfect for skiing, and snowmobilers. So, and I'm probably a little bit more optimistic, surprise, surprise, than others with snow totals. And the reason why, Bill, is because of the temperatures aloft. The temperatures aloft are going to be very cold, which is efficient for snowmaking. And we're going to get into that. Long story short, Bill, if it were 32 degrees or 30 degrees out, not only at the surface but up above us, this would be a wet, heavy snow and it wouldn't add up as quickly. But because it's so cold, not only at the surface but up above us, this is going to be a very efficient snowmaker. And that's why I think we're going to have higher totals than what people are expecting.
But aren't other people, they know that same data too, though, right? I mean, don't they know it should be a dry snow or?
Well, yeah, I mean, they do, but often, I don't want to speak for others, but often you just go with model QPF, quantitative precipitation forecast, and then you just do a 10-to-1 ratio, and you come up with your snow total.
Yeah.
That's a real easy way to do it, but factoring in the fact that this is going to be a 20-to-1 ratio snow or an 18 or 15-to-1 ratio, a little bit more complicated, not too complicated, but
that's kind of the same. That ratio sounds like the same odds of the Vikings making the playoffs, right?
Well, with Harrison Smith gone, Bill, it's all done. That's it. It's been a rough year for the Vikes. So,
yeah.
But yeah, hey, instead of watching Vikings football on Sunday, you can take a look at the snow outside and maybe go out and shovel. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Well, maybe not you, Bill. Anyway, here's some model guidance. This model is the NAM computer model. Everybody knows this. This is a good short-term model, great at predicting out to about 48 hours in advance. But we're looking at the jet stream, Bill. This is the river of air at 25, 30,000 feet above the surface of the Earth. It's where the jets fly at cruising level, and this is also the steering winds for our storms. And Bill, through all the years, you know that we're looking for these troughs, right?
Yep.
This is called a trough, and this is on Sunday, and that trough is located right over the Dakotas and Minnesota, so basically the whole upper Midwest. Storms like to develop in a trough, and that's what we're expecting to happen late Saturday and Sunday before that trough quickly pulls off to the east on Monday. Bill, that's another reason why I'm not expecting a foot of snow, is because this storm is going to be moving fairly quickly. So within about a 12 to 24-hour period, this storm system is going to be out of our hair. Hence, the reason we're not going to have as heavy of snows as we could get if this storm was slow moving. Okay, now we were talking about the temperatures in the upper levels of our atmosphere, Bill, at about 700 millibars and 850 millibars, and how cold it is.
And how many feet up, remind me, Tom, how many feet up is 700 millibars?
Okay, well, 700, we're going to be talking probably about 15,000 feet up, 10 to 15,000 feet up. This is what we consider the mid-levels of our atmosphere, but this is where precipitation likes to form, is right at this level. This is 700 millibars. This is the GFS computer model. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because, and here comes the science for you, Bill, we have what's called a dendrite growth zone. You got that, Bill?
Oh, yeah, I know my dendrites.
Okay, well, the dendrites, which means in this level of the atmosphere, if you got a good dendrite growth zone, that's where the big fluffy flakes like to develop. And they like to develop at 700 millibars in about that -10 to -15 degree range. Okay, now if you look at the screen now, and here's Minnesota, here's the Twin Cities, on Sunday morning, the 700 millibar temperature in Minneapolis-St. Paul is expected to be around -11. That means we are perfectly situated in a good dendrite growth zone. So that would basically be from the Minnesota-Iowa border up to about Minneapolis-St. Paul. So the southern third or southern half of Minnesota is going to be in a perfect position to have those thick, fluffy flakes to develop during the day Sunday. And then, of course, as you can see, that cold air kind of moves in and that growth zone moves east of us. But that's very important because not only should this be all snow, but it should be the big fat flakes that are pretty and that fluff up quite a bit. And by the way, Bill, this is the 850 millibar temperatures. We always show this. We just want to make sure that we're not going to be anywhere near the rain-snow line.
We ain't close to that.
No, we're not. And this is the 850 millibar, 32 degree Fahrenheit line right here, this light blue. This is Sunday morning. It's well south of Minnesota. So there's no doubt that this event, if and when it does produce precipitation, it's going to be in the form of all snow, okay? So how much snow?
That's comforting.
How much snow, Bill, right?
Yep.
Yep, here's the European computer model. This is one of the reasons why I'm tempering expectations for a big, massive snow, because the European model is showing approximately 4 to 6 inches of snow over the southern half of Minnesota between Saturday noon and Sunday evening. So over the weekend, basically, all right, with very little snow up in northern Minnesota. But still, it does show that the axis of heavy snow will be right across the Minnesota River Valley, from Mankato to Rochester to La Crosse, and then eastward to near Green Bay. So basically the southern half of Minnesota. Now, here's maybe a little bit better news for snow lovers. This is the GFS computer model. This is the American model, so not the European model. And this is for snowfall through Sunday night, okay? And the GFS computer model shows a good 4 to 6 inch snowfall over the Twin Cities, and a little bit more than that across extreme southern Minnesota, 6 inches plus in those areas. Now, we've got so many model guidances to look at, Bill, and I'm going to throw one more at you. This is a good short-term computer model called the NAM 4K. This is real good at predicting out to about 48 hours, which would be through, what, Sunday morning. And this is snowfall expected through Sunday evening, okay? And this is kind of the guidance that I'm going with. I think this is doing a pretty good job now of latching on to how much snow we're going to get. And as you can see, the axis of heavy snow basically across southern Minnesota, from Mankato to Rochester to down near Madison, Wisconsin. But long story short, anywhere from the Twin Cities and perhaps even St. Cloud on south to the Minnesota-Iowa border looks to get a good 4 to 8 inch snowfall in some areas, even a little bit more than that. So, you know, that's kind of what I'm sticking with, Bill.
Yep. Tom, question for you. I know I saw that that's from Pivotal Weather. Is that something that's available to anybody, or is that?
No, yeah. This is the great thing about the internet nowadays, Bill, is that all this model guidance, in fact, just a ton of weather information is not only available to me, but it's available to you. It's available to everybody. You just need to know where to look, right? And also, you have to like looking at it. So, you know,
Right.
A lot of people, this is, you know, boring for them to look at it. They just want to be told what's going to happen. And I guess that's where my job comes into play. That's what my clients want, right? They don't want to have to go through the hours and hours of looking at weather maps. They just want to be told what's going to happen. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm in business.
Yeah, no, it makes sense to me.
Hey,
So-
last thing I wanted to show you, Bill, of course, is the Novak weather snow graph. So this is my expectations for potential snow over the Midwest between now and Sunday evening. And just real quickly, Bill, I think a good solid 4 to 6 inch snow across all of southern Minnesota from about the Twin Cities on south. And then I do think there's going to be a bullseye of snow from about Mankato on east to La Crosse, and then further east to near Madison, Wisconsin, where 6 inches plus is going to fall. And there might be some rogue totals in there, Bill, that reach up to 8, 9 inches. Again, I don't expect this to be this massive blizzard like they received up in the Red River Valley the other day, where 12, 16 inches of snow, and it was blowing for days upon days.
Yeah.
But I do think that 4 to 6 inches in the Twin Cities metro, and then maybe 6 to 8 down in the Rochester area and along I-90 in southern Minnesota, I think that is certainly possible.
So Tom, would you bet your firstborn that the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport will get 4 inches of snow?
No.
No. That either reflects you don't like your firstborn that much, or you don't.
Well, you know how this goes, Bill. I'm going to say what I've said to you all the time, Bill. We got to wait for this storm to come fully on shore before we get too excited. It's occurring right about now. So the 00 Zulu or 7 p.m. model guidance that comes out tonight, that will have really the best grasp on what's going to happen. So as we update people later tonight and certainly tomorrow on snow totals and what to expect, that's when I think things become much more concrete. Am I confident, Bill? Yes, and my confidence is fairly high that a significant snow is going to fall over southern Minnesota, including the Twin Cities.
So wow, Tom. So you're expecting snow to start tomorrow afternoon, and it's still just getting onto the coast now. Wow, it really is a fast mover.
Going to be a fast mover. That's why, again, once the snow starts, which let's say right around 6 p.m. in the evening, that's a good time frame. It should be done probably by noon Sunday. So it's going to be in and out, but within that 12 to 18 hour period, if it snows at a half an inch an hour, you're talking 4, 6, some places even 8 inches.
Sounds good.
All right, William, we will, there's going to be a lot more of these this year. I just get a funny feeling this is going to be a real busy winter.
By the way, Tom, do you see anything? Obviously, there's the huge Arctic air coming in afterwards. Do you see any little episodes? I'm big on.
You had to ask that, didn't you? So, Bill, it's going to get bitter cold this coming week, all right? We're talking temperatures -10, -15, even in the Twin Cities, okay? But that's going to set us up for another winter storm. Model guidance is already looking promising for next weekend. So, what we need, Bill, and we didn't have much of this last year, but what we need is cold Arctic air in place. And it is certainly going to be in place as we head into next week and weekend.
Good news, I guess.
All right, William. Take care.
All right.
I'm sure we'll be talking more.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.